Welcome back. I have a few planty projects to do with you today. I have a couple Alocasia, my newer ones. I have a Philodendron that I want to get out of the tiny pot of stratum it's in. The airplane is so loud. Okay, I think it passed. And then I also have a Philodendron Florida Beauty that I want to redo on a pole. It's on a really small moss pole and the petioles got extremely long, so I chopped it the other day. I took like the top section, really long leaves, and so now I am left with like the bottom portion of the pole. So I want to chop it a little bit more and start over with like a little section of it. So I'm gonna do that one last because I think that one will be a little bit more of a project, and then I'll take care of these ones first. So I have the beautiful pink black velvet. It is pushing a new leaf spike here, but I really want to get this moved to stratum so I can move it to pon. The little baby leaf here is dying on it. And then this one I did with you last time. This is the variegated dragon scale. So this one I moved to stratum and you can see all the roots that have come in. And so I want to move this to pon. So I'm going to do this one first so I can use the stratum for the black velvet. This philodendron, I don't know if any of you remember. So I got this as like a new plant last summer. Was it last summer? Yes, I think it was. And it went downhill, it completely rotted. And so I didn't think I was gonna be able to save it. And I had it rehabbing in my cabinet for the longest time. This plant has been in my Ikea cabinet probably like over 6 months. It's in this tiny thing of stratum. Look how rooted it is. So this thing dries out within like 2 days. I just watered my cabinet Sunday and today is Wednesday. So yeah, this thing is completely dry and it's only been 3 days. So I really need to get this out of here. I'm gonna do this one in pon. This is the, I didn't tell you what it is. It's the, I bought it as a SP Columbia Silver, but I think it has a couple different names. Look how beautiful that leaf is. So this is the newest one. Another plane. Right when I start filming, the planes start going. So that's the newest one. And then we have this one here and that one there.
Is this the slowest plane ever?
So yes, I'm so excited to finally pot this one up. I'm not gonna do soil just because it rotted. This one is growing straight up. It kind of reminds me of how my Philodendron L Choco Red is growing. So I'm just gonna stick it in pon. I'm not gonna add any kind of support or anything. I think I'll just maybe use a stake in the future, just like stick it down in there for support. So let's start with the, ooh, this potting mat's dirty from yesterday. I forgot to wipe it.
That's okay. We'll just work right here.
This one actually might be getting ready to push a new leaf here soon too. It's done very well in stratum. It's growing in a ton of healthy roots. Look at all those that have come in. I'm just gonna rinse this under my sink so that we get the stratum off. I don't want that to like rot or anything when we put it in pon. Look at all those offshoots. It's gonna give me some corms in some time. Do you see all those? It's so cool. I have these here. These are the ones that I've been using. Set this here for a second. Yeah, I have my pon right here. This one's gonna be really easy. I'm gonna be upsizing my El Choco soon. I bought a 10-inch self-watering planter off Amazon. It's not Lechuza brand, but it's an off brand. And it's just the one. It was still expensive, but it's like probably over $30 cheaper than the Lechuza 10-inch planter. I actually think it's going to be coming later today, so I might upsize it soon because it's definitely outgrowing the planter I have it in. I have it in a 7-inch, and when I put it in there, it was way rooted. Like, it definitely needed a bigger size, but I mean, it's doing well. It just drinks up the water so fast. So all of my alocasias in pon are doing well, minus one. There was one that I moved to pon recently, and I'm not sure what's going on with it. It's like all the original leaves are dropping, but it's pushing in some new growth. It's the Infernalis. That one was from the big box store, and it was in soil. And I had it in water for a few weeks at least, I think probably longer, and then I moved it to pon. So I'm not sure what happened with that one. So I'm gonna have to look into that. It does have a lot of new growth coming in, but I don't know if it just shocked, if it's like a picky alocasia. And then I've only had one other one shock, which was the Heterophylla. I put the Bisma Platinum in pon recently, I think within like the last 6 weeks, and it gave me a huge new leaf. Like, it's ginormous. I'm gonna have to insert a clip of it. And I have so many that I need to upsize into 7-inch planters from this size because they are outgrowing. I think my black velvet needs done, and I think a couple others. This is already prepared. I prepared this yesterday. It has all of my stuff in it. Silica, fertilizer, pH drops, CalMag, and stress coat. It has everything. I'm going in with full strength in this one. It'll be fine. This one's living in my Rudsta out here in the dining area, so I'm going to put this one back in there. This one and the pink black velvet are both in the Rudsta. That is all I'm going to add in there. Yay, she's in pon now. Oh, I love this alocasia. She's so pretty. Gorgeous. All right, next. Shucks, I need this container. All right, so the pink black velvet, she is in soil, and I don't want her in soil, so let's take a look at the root system here. Oh, that would be pretty cool if she had corms already. Let's see. Whoa. I'm not going to be too upset if I break some roots because it's really going to take off in stratum. You saw the dragon scale. Alocasias love stratum. I just heard an owl. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Maybe because it's a little cloudy. And here is her little root system. I'm going to rinse this real quick. Look how beautiful. I don't know if you can see like the underside. Look how pretty that is. Oh, she's such a beautiful plant. Gorgeous. This is the newest leaf here. This was the original one, this one, and then it gave me this one, which is really pretty. And the newest one has a lot of pink. This newest leaf is very, very pretty. Gorgeous. Okay, and then there's one spot where a corm is gonna grow, but it's still gonna be a while. I'm trying to improvise. I need all of my containers. Oh, this has a hole in it. Oh well, it's gonna have to do. So we're just reusing literally the same cup. All right, we'll move this one to pon in 2 to 3 weeks. That one is done. Next, let's do this one here to pon. So pretty. Yeah, this thing is so rooted. I'm not going to be able to save this stratum just because it's been in here for so long. A lot of it kind of turns to mush once it's been grown in for a while.
Oh my gosh, I don't know if I can get this out of here. That is insane.
Ow, that kind of hurt. Holy heck. It's like there's no stratum, it's all roots. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely gonna have to rinse this underwater. I'm worried this has been in stratum too long. I hope it does okay moving to pon. I just kept putting it off. I was gonna do this one. I need to do my gloriosum. That's another one that's been in stratum for way too long. So I'm worried about that one. And then there's my mame that's been in stratum way too long. I was gonna wait and do this one with those, but this one is just drying out way too fast. I keep underwatering it. All right, I'm gonna rinse this under my sink and I'll be back. I tried to rinse it the best I could. Look at that. That is crazy. It was literally all roots. I tried to separate it, but I didn't want to break too many of them. Oh, I just saw some geese walk by with 2 little babies. I haven't seen them yet. We have several groups of geese and their little goslings, but this is a group. Because I don't remember seeing one that has just two babies. What the heck? It's like closed. There's like plastic in here. Look at that little one isn't part of them.
And there's 2 more. You see the ones over there? She just had new babies, but they're this big.
Yeah, I just saw her walk by.
They're new. I hadn't seen them before.
That's that big group. Okay. What the heck? Today is not a good filming day with all the loud noises. I'm very sorry about all the planes, if you can hear them. I know it has to be loud. All right, so for this big clump, I'm just gonna spread it out a little bit, kind of all over or down in there. And yeah, he looks cute like that. Kind of shimmy this in between all the roots. Ooh, she looks good potted up. She'll be able to fit back. I have this one in my Millspo cabinet, so she'll be able to fit back in there for a little bit. But as soon as she grows one taller leaf, I'm probably gonna have to move her out. I'll probably make room for her on that shelf with the El Choco, but the El Choco is like now probably, I don't know, maybe like 4 or 5 inches from that top light. And then one more leaf, I'm probably gonna have to just sit it on the floor. It's gonna get too tall. Ooh, I filled that one a little full. That's okay though. I'm sure it's gonna appreciate not drying out every couple of days. Ooh, she's so pretty. I love the color. It's hard to describe, but it's like it's a different kind of green. I feel like I don't have this color in my plant collection. So SP Columbia Silver is what I bought it as. Look how pretty. Oh, my battery's gonna die. Okay, I'm gonna change my battery and then we'll do our Florida Beauty for the last project. I'm kind of dreading it. I don't feel like doing it, but I'm gonna make myself. Now for the Florida Beauty. I really don't want to do sphagnum moss for this plant. I feel like the aerial roots, as you can see here, they just kind of grow kind of a little wild. They kind of grow up the pole. I have some roots coming out the top. These kind of plants don't necessarily need like a damp moss, so I don't really have any large left. So I'm just going to start with a medium, and I'm going to keep it empty like I did with my Monstera Albo. I'm not going to fill it with anything, and that way it's just going to be used for support. So I'm going to replant it. I only have one 6-inch repot me pot left, so I'm just going to put it in a 5-inch. I don't think it's going to have a ton of roots where it needs anything bigger than this to start out. Currently on a small, which you can see it's just, this plant was super tall. I wish I didn't cut it yet so I could have showed you her full, but she had like this much growth up here, and then the petioles were like 1.5 feet long, and I cut like, yeah, I probably cut at least 4 leaves off that were growing. So I kind of would like 2 vines on here growing to kind of fill it out a bit more. But I don't want all the leaves that are on this one. So I have 2 that are kind of reverted. A Florida Beauty also can revert pretty easily. I had an old one that reverted even after like trying to chop it and everything. But I have a weird empty space here in the middle. There's like a weird gap. So I really like this leaf here, and I really like this leaf, although it's a little bit broken. And this one's mostly reverted, so I might cut this leaf off because the node here is pretty short. So I might cut this section, take it out of the moss, and then prop these nodes up. And then I might take this section here and take it out of the moss. I don't know. I don't know what my plan is. Let me kind of undo this and go from here. I'm going to go ahead and cut this so that I have 2 sections to work with. It's a little bit chaos right now. I hope you can see okay. Sometimes I don't really know what I'm doing with a plant until I actually can get in here and see what's going on, and sometimes I change my mind. Like sometimes I think I want to do something a certain way and then I change my mind. Ow, shit. These little nabs are so tiny. Where you connect the poles, they're so tiny. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and cut this vine above this node right here. We're gonna cut here. Done. We're gonna cut this aerial root. And we're gonna cut this root system. I have no patience when it comes to moss roots sometimes. When it gets too much, I just start chopping. Okay. We're gonna set the bottom section aside for a minute and work with this. My repots are always chaos. There is nothing neat about my repots at all. Only thing is though, I do need to save some of these roots because I want to plant this back to the bottom. So I'm gonna have to finagle with this sphagnum moss.
The smell smells good. I don't know why. Sometimes it doesn't smell good. It has like a weird smell. But this one smells good.
I'm surprised these roots are even viable because this pole has been so underwatered. Oh my gosh. And it has quite a decent root system from the nodes. So we really only need this bottom section because we're gonna plant this in our pot. Let's see. Well, I guess all the nodes will be, the roots will be able to fit down in there without them sticking up. I think this top one I'm gonna get rid of though. This one here, we don't need these. All right, that's that little section. I'm gonna set her down. Now we're gonna work with the bottom. I'm gonna cut again right here. Cut off those dried roots there. So we're gonna plant this down in here, these two pieces down in here as well. I'm trying to decide, I don't feel like I need 3 vines. I feel like the 2 is gonna be plenty climbing up here. And I'll eventually switch this pole to a large down the road once I get more for like stability. Like look how short it is now. It's just gonna be in the pot like that. But I love how 2 vines make it look more full, you know? I'm gonna cut it. I'm cutting it. I'll deal with that later. All right, so we are going to, this would be cute in the pot together like that. I'm gonna try and root this section like that, this cutie. I could add this actually down in there. And then this is a bunch of wet sticks here. I think I'll just cut this chunk in half because there's so many different nodes and it's woody, so I can't really tell where the auxiliary bud is on all these unless I scrape some of this away. So I'm just gonna cut in half here and whatever decides to grow will grow. So I have 3 more chunks to put. I have a propagation box that I started with sphagnum moss, so I'm gonna throw those in there. But I won't expect a plant for 5 months at least. All right, I'm going to clean this up off camera, so let's get this base potted up. I think I will pot this up separately, and once this roots I can sell this. It has a little bit of root, so I actually might use some of my propagation mix and pot that up because that would be really cute together. And then the auxiliary bud is right here on it. And then it may even activate another one since I chopped so much. I think I'll hold off putting it in here with this one. I think the two will be plenty. All right, so what I'm gonna do is use our pole. This pole I reused. So this is the bottom. I'm just gonna plant this in here, just like this with some soil. This is my aeroid mix with some pon for weight. I'm making a mess. Okay. All right, this one we're gonna plant down in here. Get all those roots down. And since this one opens from the front, I'm gonna latch it around this node here. So that it holds in the pole. And this one is the bigger one. We're gonna do this one right in here as well. Kind of drape some of these roots around the back. Get them all down in here. This is so much more manageable and cute now that I don't have this crazy overgrown plant. So they're kind of facing up just from where this plant was situated in my plant room, but I'm gonna face this. I'm gonna put this in front of a grow light that is going to be directly forward. So once this plant actually gets some forward light, these leaves are gonna move and grow down towards the light. So this plant will look a lot better and kind of face one direction. All right, let me get this potted up for these snaps. Decide to come undone. I love doing this empty pole method for plants like this that don't necessarily need a damp moss pole, because it's just like you're providing support with the pole just like you would with a stake, but then you don't have to worry about watering it, which is nice. You can just water the base. I can't tell you how much I love this plant now that it isn't crazy. Oh, that kind of came back out of there. Oh well, it's okay. Once it climbs, I'll be able to anchor it on the inside. But yeah, once it all faces forward, it's gonna be so pretty. This was such a good idea. See, I love this plant already and I have such beautiful leaves now. I'm gonna water over this because I have to wash it out anyway. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and pot this cutting. It has a little bit of root, so I feel like it will be okay. And it should start rooting. I'm just gonna use my aeroid mix here and pot this guy up. And once I actually have new roots and actually like an auxiliary bud to form, I'll let this one go. All right, we'll set this little cutie in the other room. Let me give you an overview of all the plants that we did, and then yeah, we'll end this video, and then I'm gonna clean up this huge mess that I made because I have a mess everywhere. It wouldn't be a repotting video without a huge mess from me. I'm gonna show you everyone that we did. So black velvet, pink variegated is in stratum, and it's gonna grow some new roots, and then we're gonna move it to pon. Is that a train? I didn't know there was a train station close to here. This is the variegated dragon scale. So this came in a moss perlite mix. We moved it to stratum, and so now it's finally in its forever home in pon. This gorgeous, this Philodendron SP Columbia Silver. It's pretty. Look at that veining, dark green. It's so pretty. She's gorgeous. She looks so good in pon. I have a feeling I'm going to really love this one, especially once I start getting bigger leaves. Like my El Choco, it's going to be so beautiful. Gorgeous philo. And then we have our Redo Florida Beauty that is growing up right now, but all the leaves are going to turn and face downward. Beautiful. So we have the 2 vines in here with our empty pole. Then we have our little baby that is going to root in here with these 2 leaves, and it'll activate a new growth point. So that is everyone that I did today. I feel so good getting this little bunch done. Baby steps, I have a lot to do. So I'm excited to slowly be working on that. So expect a lot of repots, upsizes, plant redos, moss pole chops. So stay tuned. There's going to be a lot of stuff to do coming up. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you soon.